Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. And I'm your host, Randy Sharman. There's all kinds of travel scams waiting to take advantage of you, and one of them that seems to be on the rise is fake booking sites. So in a few moments, travel expert Onanta Forbes will join me to discuss what to look for and how to avoid them. Plus, the folks from Skyscanner have come out with the Smarter Summer Report, so you can find the best places to go this summer, destinations that have similar offerings, but with lower prices, fewer crowds, and a bit more room to explore. So we'll have a look at some of their cheaper, hand-picked alternative destinations. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to talk about the latest travel news and trends and travel tips in general. You can follow her on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Hello, Onanta.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. We're going to talk about travel scams. I think we could probably talk about a different scam every week. It seems like there's lots of them out there, and there's new ones popping up all the time. But I did see a story from Travel Industry Today from their website, travelindustrytoday.com, talking about fake booking sites. This isn't really new, but there certainly seems to be more and more of it out there now.
Right. And as travel continues to rebound and technology becomes more sophisticated, scammers are becoming more creative than ever. So they're creating fake websites, fake vacation rentals, fake customer service numbers, and even using AI to make their scams look incredibly convincing. And it's true. You really do have to read and not to skim it over. Look at the sender emails. You just can't just float through life anymore because you just become a risk of being a victim. Travel's very emotional. We're very excited about our vacations. We don't want to miss out on a great deal. We may be rushing to book flights before prices increase or try to secure that perfect accommodation before it sells out. And scammers understand this. They know travelers are making more expensive purchases and making decisions quickly. So they use urgency, excitement, and sometimes fear to get people to let their guard down. And it's actually becoming one of the fastest growing forms of consumer fraud. So maybe a red flag, maybe number one, the deal is too good to be true. So if you see a luxury resort advertised at half the normal price or business class flight for a fraction of what everybody else is paying, stop yourself and ask why. The scammers know that unbelievable prices get attention. So one of the most common travel scams involve fake travel websites that look remarkably similar to a legitimate hotel or air or cruise or tour operator website. And then you enter your payment information, you receive a confirmation email only to discover your booking doesn't even exist. Mm-hmm. So my advice is simple. If a deal looks dramatically better than every other offer on the market, do your homework before handing over your credit card.
Well, I think you're right, too. Everyone wants a deal.
Yes.
And so it's I better book that now because we've been trained to think that the prices are going to go up, maybe in minutes. In some cases, it actually does. And yeah. So what are we? I'm just getting back to this story from Travel Industry Today. Flight Center said it worked with Google and other search engines to take down more than 200 fraudulent listings and imposter websites. So you really do have to be on guard, don't you? And most of the time it's some of these pop-up ads and it's a third-party link or something like that rather than doing a legitimate search, say, on real websites, right?
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to get misdirected. That's what I find. Or you start looking online for a certain destination or time frame or a company. Then all of a sudden, all these emails start popping up or suggestions in your, I guess, search engine, and it makes it almost looks like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Here are some ideas. Well, it might not be from the right source. So that's definitely things that you have to read, whatever you look at, to just make sure that it is a legitimate source. And there's other ways that they have pressure tactics, and that's like a warning sign of urgency. Like you may see messages saying, only one room left. This offers expires in 10 minutes. Book now or lose your reservation. So legitimate suppliers may have limited inventory, but scammers rely heavily on pressure because they don't want you to stop and think. So you do have to be aware of different tactics that are out there. I do have to say, it is, airlines especially, and we've definitely, as a travel retail advisors, we've been told it. If somebody starts looking, or if a bot or an airline algorithm starts seeing a certain date or a certain destination that people are kind of clicking on to research, the next time you look, the price might be higher. And the price,
Dynamic pricing, I think, is what it's called.
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
they can change the price. I always tell my clients up to 4 times a day. I think they can change it more than that if they really see the interest. But it is, so you do have to be aware that there are tactics in the marketplace, the travel marketplace, that are real, but also scammers know that, and they kind
Mm.
of meld real and reality like into their fraud tactics. So be careful of that. And
Hmm.
a lot of people are, going online and booking their own vacation rentals. And that seems to continue to catch travelers. So what a scammer does is they steal the photos from a legitimate property listing and advertises the accommodation online. So the traveler pays a deposit, arrives at the destination, and discovers the property either doesn't exist or was never available.
Hmm.
So protect yourself. Book through reputable platforms, read the reviews carefully, verify the property address, and be suspicious if a host asks you to communicate or pay outside of the booking platform. So if someone wants you to move the conversation to WhatsApp, text messaging, or personal email, or send the payment direct,
Hmm.
consider that a major warning sign.
Exactly. And one thing that they mentioned too that you can do is always verify your booking. And I do this because I don't trust technology.
Yeah.
So as soon as I make a booking, if it's a third party, like if you're using booking.com or something like that, and you get your confirmation, I usually phone the hotel and say, hey, I just want to check if I got this room is legit, la la la, kind of thing. And same with an airline. If you get the booking confirmation number, or it's not the flight number, but it's the confirmation number, and then put that in the actual airline's website. And if it doesn't pop up, uh, that's a red flag right there.
Right, and you're referring to, it's called the booking reference, or the
That's
uh,
right.
yes. So you're right, absolutely. One of the ones that I we have shared before on our on the show was even suppliers. They for transfers. The scammers will go to the airport, see the names of legitimate transfer companies, and then kind of park themselves in front of them, put the name of the guest on their
Oh.
sign, and then the guests, they're tired, they see, they're
Hmm.
excited that the transfer really is there, and they go up to that person, and then the that scammer will take them to their destination, but then ask for the money again, which where you've already prepaid,
Yeah.
and you don't know what to do, right? You kind of get flustered, so you actually do pay them again. So
Hmm.
you have to be very aware of that. um, with AI, artificial intelligence, it's making scams harder to detect. As we said, they are creating professional looking websites, realistic emails, customer service messages. In the past, we could kind of tell because poor grammar and spelling mistakes were easy giveaways. But a fake website today can look identical to the real
Mm-hmm.
thing. So double check website addresses, verify contact information, and wherever possible, book through trusted suppliers and advisors, because you just don't want to be in that situation where you spend tons of money, or not even tons, but just money.
Miss money,
And
yeah.
yeah, and then something goes awry. So one of the things that I kind of, you have to be careful of this, is public Wi-Fi and cybersecurity risk.
Yes, yeah.
And this sometimes can happen when you're traveling. So airports, hotels, cruise terminals, and cafes often provide free Wi-Fi, but cyber criminals know travelers are using these networks. So a couple of simple precautions can go a long way. Avoid online banking on public
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Use a VPN if possible. Enable two-factor authentication on important accounts, and keep your devices updated before travel. So it's you don't think of it sometimes because you're in a rush, you want to do something, you're at destination, you just need to check something really quickly, and you think, oh, it won't matter this one time.
Mm-hmm. Or it won't happen to me.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. So if I just to wrapping up our conversation, if a deal's too good to be true, investigate further. Never rush because someone creates artificial urgency. Use a credit card where possible, and keep your payments and communications on legitimate booking platforms. And always verify, like you say, go back to the source that you booked to see um, if it's legitimate. Check
Mm-hmm.
websites, phone numbers, reviews, and suppliers before making a payment.
Always good tips, always good advice. Onanta Forbes is a travel expert. You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Good chatting, Onanta. Thank you. This is the Informed Traveler Podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast or any show segment ideas you'd like to pass along. You can always email me too with any questions or ideas you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And you can check out our social media pages too at facebook.com/informedtraveler, Instagram at informedtraveler, or on X at informedtraveler. That's where you'll find a number of videos and photos from our recent visit to Fort Lauderdale and other interviews and stories. Plus, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter. It's released at the beginning of every month. Our June issue is now available. Just go to our website, theinformedtraveler.org, click on the newsletter button, and it'll take you right there. Or better yet, you can subscribe to it and have it arrive in your inbox each month. Well, with lots of people eyeing these same places, it pays to look elsewhere. Destinations that have similar offerings, but with lower prices, fewer crowds, and a bit more room to explore. And that's just part of the Smarter Summer Travel Report that Skyscanner has come up with. Joining us now to share some of the results is Lourdes Losada. She is a travel expert from Skyscanner. Skyscanner.ca is the website. Hello, Lourdes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm excited to become a smarter summer traveler with your Smarter Summer Report. Some of the topics on there: the cheapest times to travel, smarter places to travel, and under the radar destinations. So we're going to discuss a few of those. But let's start with the cheapest time to travel. I was looking on your website. It does have your Smarter Summer Report on there, and I'm not surprised with the week that was chosen. It's right towards the end of summer, just before the beginning of fall, right?
Yes. So it's if you don't have kids in school, which I think that's the biggest issue for traveling, that you have a little bit more of a fixed schedule. And if you can actually choose a time to go, based on the data that we have, the most affordable week overall, it's August 31st through September 6th. And Mondays, surprisingly, they continue to be among of the cheapest days to fly. So we're seeing that that's the best week overall based on prices. But also, we can also see that June, September, they are sweet spots for travelers always.
Yeah, it's always usually the shoulder season, as they like to call it, and that's when people, like you're saying, they're going back to school. So the end of the summer is obviously a good time, especially like you say, if you don't have children and want to avoid the crowds.
Yes, because you still get the great weather in many of the destinations, but prices are often lower and crowds are smaller. So you can get the reservations in the nice restaurants and you can do many other things that you wouldn't be able to do if it was too crowded. And it's generally easier to find availability altogether.
Let's talk about some of these smarter places to travel this summer. A few of the places, we don't have to talk about all of them, but Kelowna, surprisingly, and for me, I'm surprised with Kelowna because I live in Western Canada. I don't find it all that inexpensive, but obviously you found otherwise.
Yeah, so we've seen there a list of the clever alternatives, as we call them. But yeah, it's Kelowna in British Columbia, with the wine country, right? Also, maybe not the cheapest for a lot of people, but Nassau also made it to the list. But other alternatives that are a little bit more on budget: Lima in Peru. Great food, highly recommended. Prague, Dubrovnik, also, or Osaka are in that list of those clever alternatives, which are basically destinations that offer many of the same experiences that travelers are seeking in popular hotspots, but at a lower cost on fewer crowds too.
Which is what it's all about. I think people are looking for not the crowded destinations anymore, and they're looking to save money always. So good combination there. Are you finding that too?
Yeah, that's correct. So that's one of the biggest trends. We're seeing some trends this year. So the number one trend would be like the travelers are increasingly focused on value and getting the most out of their travel. The second one is that interest that you were talking about of seeing alternative and less crowded destinations. And the third one, it's travelers are being a little bit more flexible in timing. They're willing to shift the travel dates to take advantage of lower fares and better availability. So yeah, overall, people still want to have those memorable experiences, but they are being much more strategic about how they plan and how they book the trips.
And one thing I like about, well, let's use Prague, for example, it's easy to get to, right? Like some of these out of the way destinations aren't always the easiest to find and to get to, are they?
That's correct. But that's what I'm saying too. Like that flexibility on looking into alternative airports, sometimes it gives you better value. And if you are willing to be a little bit more flexible, maybe it's not, you can't find a flight every day, but if you're flexible, maybe there are some of those flights that only leave on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, for example, especially within Europe. That's very common.
And then it may involve taking a train, which isn't so bad. Like other alternatives are a good way to explore countries too. Just getting to maybe a secondary destination.
And it can be part of the trip, right? Like getting on a train in Prague and just enjoying the scenery. It's totally part of it.
Let's talk about some of the lesser known destinations under the radar. Some of these places you're going to have to explain to me where they are, but what makes them special?
Yeah, so on the under the radar destinations, those are the destinations that haven't yet reached the same level of popularity as the major tourist hubs, but they offer incredible experiences still. So this year's standouts include Jeju in South Korea. So a little bit about Jeju, it's a volcanic island paradise, and it's famous for its dramatic lava landscapes, waterfalls, and beautiful coastline. And it offers a little bit of a mix of outdoor adventure and wellness as well. And it's very popular for its unique culture, fresh seafood, and UNESCO recognized natural sites too. And bonus point, one of the travel trends that we're seeing too is people going to South Korea to do a lot of the, we call them glow mats. So treatments in their skincare treatments and all that. So you have that bonus point. You have the volcanic island, the South Korea beautiful landscape, and also the opportunity to come back with a lot of skincare.
Nice. Come back with a glow, as they say.
Exactly, yeah. So Jej is one of them. Then Zadar in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
It's a historic Adriatic city that combines the Roman ruins, the medieval charm, and also a vibrant waterfront. So it's home of some architectural. It's called the Sea Organ, which is an architectural installation that creates music from the movement of the waves. I don't know if you have seen some of that, but it's super cool. Yeah. And it's also, I mean, the sunsets are spectacular there. So if you are willing to go to Croatia, that's yours.
Okay, let's talk about Bastia, Corsica in France now.
Mm-hmm. So Bastia it's a port city in the northeast coast of Corsica. So it's known of the colorful harbor, and then it's also like Italian influence architecture and relaxed Mediterranean atmosphere that you can find in Corsica. And it also, it has a lot of like local markets, historical squares. The Corsican cuisine is amazing because it has that influence of Italy, France, even from Catalonia in the north of Spain. There's a lot of influence right there because it lives right there in the middle of the Mediterranean. I am particularly driven to this destination because I am from Spain and it's right there on the coast. So Corsica is one of the, it's a very cool one if you want to be on an island, but not on a full blast, just popular islands that people just try to choose.
Yeah. So is there there's 10 on here. We'll run down there's Naxos, Greece, Gdansk, Poland, Cork, Ireland, Mykonos, Greece, Perth, Australia, Bologna, Italy, and Helsinki, Finland. So is there any place that for you personally that stands out that you go, yeah, this is a really good place?
So for me, I love Bologna. I think it has that perfect combination also of an Italian city. You can stuff yourself with the good pasta, the good wine. It's enjoyable to get there because you can either drive or take a train. Trains tend to work very well in Italy, so you can fly either to Bologna itself, or you can fly to Milano and then come back. So it can be like a 2-in-1 trip. And for me, that would be one of the ones that I would recommend the most. Ireland, it's super cool. Cork is a little bit more industrial. It has a lot of technology companies that are based there. So a lot of like nightlife and stuff. So those will be recommendations that I would have personally on my list.
So like what did it take to make the list? I mean, every time there's a top 10 list of something, there's something, somebody's going to be left out. Like was there a certain criteria? Is it just based on, marketing? Is it based on people that are going there? How did you find your results or get your results?
No, so it's not marketing. We're not paid to do this. So it's more than anything. We have a lot of data in Skyscanner because we are a search engine. So imagine 160 million people use us every single month, and that creates billions of data points, especially based on Skyscanner's flight and hotel search and pricing data. So there we can see what's the destinations that are trending higher or lower in price, or who's searching a little bit more here or there. So that's how we make this happen. And the prices and the destination rankings reflect what Canadians are actually searching for this report. And and the information is based like on this year. So it's basically like from March till now, what we have seen moving upwards or downwards in Canada.
Well, people can read more about it if they're looking for alternative destinations, save a little money, maybe not be involved with the crowds, not so crowded places. They can find the Smarter Summer Report on the Skyscanner website, skyscanner.ca. And if they find a place, they can actually book it on skyscanner.ca too, right?
That's right. Yeah, we will redirect them to either the airline or the hotel. So in Skyscanner, they can do their search, make sure that they are are getting the best value, and they can be inspired too, because there's a fun fact that 50% of the travelers, they don't know where to go. So we have a filter that it's called Everywhere Search, and you can choose the origin, so the city that you're sitting in, and make an everywhere search, and we will show you what are the cheapest flights for a certain period of time. And you can also put an alert there, so it's kind of like easy to get inspired as well.
So when you put an alert, then Skyscanner sends you a note saying, "Hey, the prices have just dropped. You might want to book now." Is that what you mean?
That's correct. So because we have so much data, we can predict if prices will typically go up or down. Of course, everything can vary, but we can send you that alert of, "Hey, this is the best time to book." So you can have the confidence that you're getting the best.
I like it. Lourdes Losada is a travel expert with Skyscanner. Skyscanner.ca is where you can find the Smarter Summer Report again and book your next trip. So I appreciate your time, Lourdes.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website too at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.